Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Boston Red Sox and what I think they should really do and what kind of situation they're in as of right now. Of course, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So to get this video started, I'm going to be looking at the newest news about the Boston Red Sox, which is the Rafael Devers extension. He's one of their best players and has been about since he came up from the minors, and he got paid this offseason. 11-year, $331 million extension. I mean, I think this deal is still pretty good for the Red Sox as Devers is only 25. He has a 124 OPS plus for his career, and he hit 29 homers last year with a 141 OPS plus last season. He might get better, or even if he stays at this level of production, he is such a good bat and he is so worth it. This team just locked up a very good player. But let's look at some of the people they lost this offseason because it wasn't the best offseason other than that for the Boston Red Sox. Of course, one of the biggest names they lost this offseason was their shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts had been with the club since 2013. He had a 34.9 WAR across his career with a 114 OPS plus in that time as well. He got to 5 All-Star games and was a 2-time World Series champion. Another big name they lost was Nathan Eovaldi. Eovaldi had a 4.07 ERA last year as a Red Sox, but in 2021 he was an All-Star with 3.84 ERA and was a very good pitcher for them during that year. Another big name they lost was JD Martinez. Martinez had been the main Red Sox DH since about 2017 when he got traded from the Diamondbacks to the Red Sox. He posted a 135 OPS plus as a Red Sox and was a 4-time All-Star. They also lost names like Eric Hosmer and Tommy Pham, who were just rentals at this year's deadline and didn't really prove much as being on the Red Sox roster. Now let's look at some of the additions they got back this offseason because they still had quite a few new signings as well. The first big one was Masataka Yoshida. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right at all. But he's an outfielder from Japan's NPB League. In the NPB League, he had a 326 average, a 419 on base percentage, a 538 slug, which is good enough for a 957 OPS plus across 7 years in that league. He's already 29 years old and was given 5 years, $90 million, which does seem like a lot for a guy that's already 29 and might struggle with his transition to the MLB. And even one MLB executive said that Yoshida isn't worth half of that deal. So it seems like people around the league also were surprised by this deal, and we'll just have to see how it turns out for that club. Another addition they got was Kenley Jansen from the Atlanta Braves. Kenley Jansen might be past his prime, but he's still very good. He posted a 3.38 ERA with 41 saves last year, which led the major leagues in the saves department. He should be a good closer for the club, and I don't expect him to regress too much, and he should be the best bullpen piece that team does have. The third addition they added was starting pitcher Corey Kluber. I mean, speaking of past their prime, Corey Kluber is well past his prime. Last year, he posted a 4.34 ERA in 164 innings for the Rays. I don't expect him to do any better than that. He most likely will do just about that, if not worse. And I mean, I think the club's just hoping that he can hold it down, maybe return to his Cy Young caliber stuff. But I mean, I think he's well past that, and I think this isn't a good signing at all. The last addition is Justin Turner. Justin Turner is a good DH replacement when they lose JD Martinez. Justin Turner hit 278 last year with a 116 OPS plus. I mean, that's about what you can expect from him, I would guess. He's always been a good hitter. I don't expect him to stop being a good hitter. He's also a very good leader in that clubhouse as well. He's an older guy, a veteran, has a lot of playoff experience. Maybe he can lead some of these younger guys, hopefully. I mean, I think Justin Turner is probably one of their better signings this offseason. Speaking of all that, let's look at the projected lineup they got. They got Reese McGuire behind the plate. I mean, pretty below average catcher. Wouldn't be surprised if they have to go out and get someone else or call someone else up from the minors to replace him. They got Tristan Casas at first base. He's all right. I mean, I wouldn't expect him to be that good, to be honest. I mean, he's a pretty young player. He still has time to develop, though, especially since I don't expect this team to be in much playoff or high anticipated matchups either. Christian Arroyo at second base. I mean, a guy who's been on this team for a little bit. He's not that good. I mean, much rather have Xander Bogaerts or Trevor Story playing there, but Christian Arroyo will have to do for now. Speaking of Trevor Story, he is now going to be moved back to his main position at shortstop. Trevor Story had a rough last year, but we know what Trevor Story can do. He's a great batter. He's always been great with the glove. I expect him to have a bounce back year. Of course, Rafael Devers at third. He's got that position locked down. Already talked about him. Love Rafi Devers. He should be very good. Moving to the outfield, they got Masataka Yoshida. Already talked about him. I don't really know what to expect from him. He could be good, could be bad. I mean, we'll just have to see what happens. They got Kike Hernandez, pretty good center fielder. He's got a good glove. He's a very streaky hitter. I mean, we saw that in those 2021 playoffs. He can turn it up when he needs to. Hopefully, he can have a better year. Last year was kind of up and down. Like I said, streaky hitter. Not too keen on what he can do with the bat, but still a great glove. And then Alex Verdugo. Verdugo had a really bad last year. I expect him to have a big bounce back. I mean, he was great in 2021. He kind of just fell off this year. I mean, I expect him to do better. He's going to have to move to right field, though, since Masataka Yoshida is projected to be at left field. Moving to DH, they got Justin Turner. Like I said, I really like the Justin Turner signing. I expect him to be really good, especially in Fenway. I think that's a really good signing for the Red Sox. I think he's going to be a good DH for that club. I expect this entire lineup to be maybe above average at best, but it's most likely going to be a pretty average lineup. They got some good hitters, some streaky hitters, but some bad hitters out there too. I mean, I expect it to pretty average at best. Now let's get into the rotation and the bullpen. Let's look at the starters for this club. They got Chris Sale. We know what Chris Sale can do when he's healthy, but he's just struggled to stay on the field these past few seasons. But hopefully he can be healthy this year because he's going to need to be for this club. The second starting pitcher I think they're going to have is Corey Kluber. I already talked about him. Probably not the second starting pitcher you want. So I think this team's got to look to move him, get someone else in here. Then they got Nick Pivetta. Nick Pivetta's all right. I mean, he was pretty good to start last year. Kind of fell off towards the end. I don't really like Nick Pivetta either. Moving on to the fourth starter, we got James Paxton. Another guy well past his prime. Could be a good, maybe 4 ERA guy. I mean, he might be a good back of the rotation guy. But still, this rotation isn't what you want to see. Moving to the fifth guy, this could change, but this is what I think is projected here. It's Garrett Whitlock. I mean, Garrett Whitlock, he isn't good. I don't expect him to be this fifth starting pitcher at the end of the season, hopefully. But never know. I just think that's what the opening day roster is going to look like. I think this is a bad rotation. I mean, it's going to be probably pretty below average. Maybe average if Chris Sale can just turn into a Cy Young level pitcher like he used to be. I mean, that's if you're being very optimistic, though. I expect this to be a bad rotation. Moving into the bullpen, it's pretty bad all around. I don't even want to get into a lot of these guys' names. Plus, I don't really know who's actually going to be out there a lot. But, of course, I talked about Kenley Jansen. I like the Kenley Jansen pickup. I think he's going to be a good closer. And the only other guy to kind of be excited about is maybe Matt Barnes. I mean, he was all right in 2021 for a little bit. Last year was, I mean, maybe he could be good. I don't know. It's another bad bullpen. Don't expect it to be good. Very below average. This team also has to play in probably the best division in baseball. I mean, they got to play teams like the Yankees, Orioles, Rays, and Blue Jays all year round. I mean, I think all those teams are better than them. All those teams are most likely going to be pretty close to getting into the playoffs. I mean, they always are. We know the Blue Jays just have very good hitting, decent pitching. Yankees, we know what they can do. They had a great year last year. Got even better, I think, this offseason. Orioles are a young team. I think they're going to be even better this year. They were a huge surprise last year. I think they're going to be really good this year. And then the Rays, I mean, they might not look good on paper all the time, but they just have one of the best developments, and they're always going to have good pitchers. They know how to develop players. I expect that team to just be good no matter what. And that's going to make it really hard on this Boston Red Sox team. That's why I expect them to only get 75 wins, maybe at best. But I think they're going to be in that 60 to 70 range. If they get up to that 80 range, I mean, I think they at best finish 500. I don't expect this team to be good at all. It's going to be very hard for them. I mean, they need to make some serious moves, or this team might be doomed for the rest of the time. Because, I mean, I'm just going to end it with this picture right here. It's very true. If I'm Rafi Devers, I want out already. I got my money. Now they got to look to move me, because this could be a long time before the Red Sox are ever good again. Alright guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.